And hello, welcome to Friar Otto's Back Porch once again, Saturday evenings, 10 to 11, riverwestradio.com, coming out of 824 East Center Street. Fine selection of videos in this place, and it's a very interesting establishment. It is very intriguing. It's my kind of video store. So we're starting a little bit later, temporal time, than we usually do, but we're starting right on time, spiritual time, of course, because as Native Americans know, people used to think they were a little bit out of it because they didn't have a sense of time, but maybe they were right on the money from the word go. I think we're rolling, are we not?
Yeah.
So we're getting started a little
Don't forget this one is turned off right now. You want to turn it on. Number 3.
I didn't hear. That's how that wasn't going there. I was wondering why the level wasn't so high on that. Are we too high, or is that going to be okay?
That'll be okay.
Yeah.
As long as you're not getting, as long as it's staying yellow.
Yeah, you don't want it up in the yellow too long. So we're getting started, and that's what matters. We're here, and it'll be kind of a shorter show, but that's all right too. So give me a moment to get set up here. I don't know how many of you are even listening, and how many of you may be new listeners, how many of you may be listeners that have already listened to some of the shows, either live or in the archives. I guess I really should find out someday how to check to see how many people have clicked on this Friar Otto Back Porch website or whatever, and I guess they have a way of monitoring all that kind of stuff. I'm not real hot on computers, so they're kind of not on my radar screen, so I even forget about doing that kind of stuff. But I'm gradually learning how to work the computer here to turn the show on and off. That's something, I guess. So, of course, I'm attached to here Zabowitz's Kleine Kirche, a rather small organization. Not sanctioned by any larger national or international organization. This is Friar Otto's Back Porch, so I'm just more or less just sitting like I would at home, only I'm not at home. Though there are some things I can do at home that I cannot do here, I feel comfortable enough that for the next 3/4 of an hour I'll certainly be able to get by, even though I'm not truly in my element completely. Yeah, it's musical minister over there. Here's Zabowitz's Kleine Kirche. I still am, of course. Here's Zabowitz. He handled the words, of course, and I took care of the music part. So I didn't have too much to do with the words, you know. I come from the ancient schools where a Kyrie might go on for 4 or 5 pages. There's Abelwitz's Clanakirch to the main thrust of our practice was bearing witness to spirit. Why, I was just thinking a little while ago, we were kind of similar to Jehovah's Witnesses, though we didn't feel the need to be going door to door and publishing magazines and things like that. That if you want to change the world, the first place to start is with yourself. And so we was taking care on changing ourselves before we got down to changing anybody else. Because we knew we couldn't change anybody else anyways. The only person that could change anybody else is that particular anybody else. Why even God himself can't change anybody? Oh, it's got to want to do it themselves. That means that they does it themselves. They gotta make the choice to let it happen and take the proper steps. Brother to stop by and pick me up, take me home. Harken back to the days, early days of Gregorian chant, when they discovered the perfect fifth and fourth. That's all the harmony there was. And at one time there was only the key of C. There were no other notes. Expected that, I'll tell you. You never know kind of what you're going to get when you're going with spirit and going with the flow anyways. That's part of the intrigue of it. Part of the intrigue is the mystery of not really knowing what may be happening next. Will be done. That's what it's all about anyways. You can sit and wonder, ponder, but in the end it's spirit that's going to make up its mind of what really is going to go down. Spirit heard that. Appreciates your response. Your vibration and sympathy. Sympathetic vibrations, such as sympathetic strings on sitars. Yes, Herr Zebowitz's Kleine Kirche, we use music more as the tool of the mystics rather than as entertainment. So I wouldn't expect anybody to be entertained. I mean, the music that Spirit has brought forth through this particular individual is largely ignored, but in a sense, this individual doesn't take issue with that anymore because he knows that dear old dad is almost completely ignored or misunderstood. So why should he expect any better treatment through this particular authorized outlet, you know? Speaking of authorized outlets, there is only one game in the universe. There's only one thing, business that is going on, no matter what you want to call it, how you want to approach it. That's the family business, you know, the universal family. To join up with the business. It's whether we decide we're going to or not. Yeah, the opportunity exists, but we have free will and we do not have to go into the family business if we don't want to. We can make things as hard as we want on ourselves. The other members of the family business will just stand by and wait till we finally wise up. Decides that we're really fighting ourselves. So anytime you want to, you can head on home. Dear old Big Brother, when he came, he told us we were children of our Heavenly Father. The words he couched it in. Mom's up there too, you don't have to worry about that. Moms are hanging around. You can't have dad without mom. So anytime you want to go on home, or decide that maybe your duties are here and you're to serve here, all you got to do is put out your shingle. Because it is Spirit that ordains the minister. Because you go to a bunch of schools and you learn how to memorize a bunch of words and speak them back at the proper time or respond to the questions that are asked of you in a proper way to prove your learning. The learning of man. Well, the learning of man only goes so far. Never find and reach the goal until you go to learn in the Spirit. You don't need no books for that. You don't need no schools for that. All you got to do is start to look inside yourself and work with it and acknowledge it there, and it shall respond if you keep at it. opportunity be of service. Thanks for being me. Particularly at this time and place. Branch, I guess, branch of the vine. That's how the parable goes. He be the vine, and we be the branch. And of course, it says that the branch, of course, draws its life from the vine, which is very true to a point. Sometimes parables are just a starting point. You gotta think, or one can maybe think a little bit further before finally understanding, or thinking that maybe they don't understand. Well, here's Abowitz and I. We would tree trimming folk, but you know, that's how we made our living in the world. We didn't make no brandy or other wines or beers or ales or do illuminated manuscripts or save people in mountain passes in the Alps, all that kind of stuff. So we had to make our way in the world yourselves. So we as tree trimming folk, you know. So one one day when we was trimming trees, I almost started to think about that leaf in the vine. Or at least maybe I suppose Spirit brought me that train of thought is what I really should say, because I never really do anything. Why, if my big brother couldn't do anything, that Spirit was the one that did everything, how could I top that? Get it? And it was shown, thought occurred, passed through my consciousness, I suppose, so to speak, that the only part that can make new food for the whole organism, including the vine, are the leaves, which occur at the tips of the branches. The leaf is the only thing that can make more food for the whole gall-darn organism. So the root needs the leaf. The vine needs the leaf. All of a sudden it came a two-way street. But that's the way love's gotta be. He gives, we receive. We give, he receives. And he is out there sending out his vibes. Any old psychic will tell you about all the spirits that survive after death. Don't you think he did? And his vibes are still out there. That's why we can get in touch. Even scientists will tell you that we've got an electromagnetic field that's sending out some kind of vibrations. Something the mystics have been talking about for thousands of years. Now, finally, science has decreed, and finally we can believe. Ah, to live in the age of science. The age of faith was a trip too, I guess. Get burned at the stake for saying the wrong thing to the wrong person at the time. Of course, that could happen. No, they don't burn people at the stake anymore, but if you say the wrong thing, the wrong time to the wrong government, you might find yourself in a little bit of a sticky wicket. Oh, you want to play piano?
Play off me.
Huh? Pardon me?
Play off me.
Well, see.
Did you hear it?
Oh yeah, I can hear it. I haven't heard enough of it to know if I can, if anything will happen. Got to hear a little bit more.
Slow.
Hmm?
Slow it down.
No, It's not striking a chord with me yet. I may not be the kind of guitar player you think I am.
Play something
Yeah, I'll play something.
bluesy.
Well, I'll play something kind of. You want something kind of bluesy? Okay. How about this one? Let's try Pruning in the Vineyard. You might want to try the key of. I can't remember if that piano was either sharp or flat at what I am. I'm in the key of D minor. Speaking of vines and branches, well, I never service at Harris Abowitz's Kleine Kirche. We had to have a warning, you know. No service would be complete without a warning that if you don't do the do's or you do the don'ts, things ain't gonna be so good for you on Judgment Day, no matter what faith you got, because there's so many faiths out there, and they're all dealing with what's gonna happen when the thing called that's motivating your earthly vehicle it finally departs. So we just always tossed out a warning that you better clean your house and make sure that you're in shape for the next leg of the journey. We may be just sojourners here, resting for the next stage of the journey. You never really know. So one day, dear old daddy's gonna be coming pruning through the vineyard. Why, we just went over how there's branches and vines. Now we know there's a vineyard. Why'd you stop? You can't hear me? Oh, yeah, I can't be pushing the levels too loud, too far. I can hear you all right. And since Harris Abowitz and I were tree trimming folks, we knew what it meant to take out the dead and the diseased and the dying branches. Dear old daddy's not going to keep that garbage around forever. He might do like they do out there at Julio Fest. They put all that old rotten dead wood and branches in in a big heap, and once in a while they burns it.
Some of the keys don't work.
Oh no, I know that. That piano is a challenge. But you were doing pretty good on that thing. Wrapping it up soon here for September 8th, 2012 Earth Time. Friar Otto's Back Porch, 10 to 11 on RiverWestRadio.com. You can also catch Friar Otto at the Bremen Cafe on Thursday evenings. Make it late. Later the better. So, see you next week. Spirit willing. And I must say thank you to the piano player for coming on by. It was a very welcome treat.
It was a fun night.
Yeah, it was. You had a special little twist to it. Like I say, you never know what you're going to get when you go with the flow. And you always get good. Yeah, good. Thanks for stopping by. Stop by again. Saturday nights, 10 to 11. So, thank you once again. And click and we're off.